Hello everyone and welcome to take 2 of the first round of the WWRL Championship here in F1 2018. We are here at the once again glorious Albert Park in Melbourne for the start of what should be an incredible season. Hopefully this round counts, as last week did not go to plan. Unfortunately, we had lots of steam issues, people left not because of their faults. And so we had to postpone it to this week, and hopefully we can see a great race that lasts more than 3 laps. But with Sasso now, he had a pretty eventful race and qualifying. He didn't qualify as well as he would have hoped, as he locked up massively into that corner there. Panda Cruiser here in the Red Bull. Teammate Rodrigo actually couldn't make it to this race, which is a bit of a shame because, as last week showed, he does have a lot of pace. Jan here, who's about to start his lap, he qualified in second, and as you saw, had an absolutely incredible start. Going down into this first corner of turn 1, he goes wide there, and he's hit the wall. And that is his lap over, and wow. That's not how you want to start your qualifying session. Losing front wing end plates on the right hand side there. He went too deep into turn 1, got on the grass. It's like almost replicated what Valtteri Bottas did in real life, but this time because of the sim damage model, he didn't end up with 2 wheels off his car and the back looking like an absolute mess. On board with Jasper here, he's about to complete his first flying lap. Headers Davey goes P1 with a 1:23.3 in his McLaren. This should be beaten by the Mercedes time. It's a 1:21.0 from the Mercedes driver. Very good competitive lap time from him. Crazy Josh is a 1:28.4, which is very off the pace for the Ferrari driver. But currently it's the Mercedes in the lead. But obviously there are still 12 other drivers without a lap time to challenge that. P1 as Sasso goes P2 and Sagatari with a 1:20.3. We saw how close it was in the opening round, in last round's attempted race, with around 5 hundredths of a second separating the top 3, with Sagatari the latter of those in 3rd place. Right now he's on provisional pole. But obviously one of them, Rick Vega, is not here, and Jan obviously bottled his lap. Here is Lazzaro, who qualified 4th in the race, in qualifying last time out. Where's he going to put his Force India? Up towards the line now. He goes P1 with a 1:20.0. A very, very strong lap time from the Force India. That's very, very close to the actual pole time of last weekend. A 1:19 should definitely be possible. Only 25 thousandths off that time. And Safsa's got a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Mantus. Now that's interesting. I saw Mantus spinning up towards turn 13. He's lost a bit of front wing. I don't know what's happened here between these two drivers. Again, it happened similar to the Bascadino Jasper incident last week, where I didn't see it, which is unfortunate because I would have loved to know what happened between the two drivers. 6 and 8 they are respectively. I think I'm going to go on board with Jan as he starts his flying lap. Let's see if he can improve on his atrocious turn 1, to be quite bluntly. Into turn 1 we go, breaking out that meter board, around 100 meter board. Unfortunately the gearbox engine glitch is still interfering with this, but we'll carry on anyway. Down towards turn 3. A late apex puts him onto the curve a little bit, and he goes wide again. Jan is not having a great stop so far. Turn 4 is a bit wide as well. Turn 5, make that 3 times wide in succession. Turn 7, he locks up, and he goes wide again. So this has not really been going well so far for the Williams Polish driver. Up towards the line now, onto the Walker Straight. What can he do in the Williams? He goes P3 with a 1:20.36. 3/10 off pole position, and it looked quite a messy lap from the onboard shots at least. It might have felt better in his car, we don't know. I can only guess what I'm watching on stream. On board with Sasso now, he's getting a bit of traffic now on his flying lap with Hetters David and McLaren right in front of me. He should get out of the way, and he does so indeed. Turn 13 now, breaking the 100-meter board. He goes a little bit wide, but it's okay. Panda Cruiser and the Rebel there getting out of the way for his junior driver there. Into the penultimate corner, he gets that pretty much spot on there, and into the final corner, he needs to get a good exit. DRS wide open for the Toro Rosso driver, up towards the line. He goes P4 with a 120.9, but still, he's 6/10 off the top 3. It's pretty similar story, but this time with Lazzaro in the place of Rick Vega. As Mantis goes P4 with a 120.5, he's getting closer to challenging the top 3, but still not close enough. Lap was 119.9 is set by the runner of Sagatari. An absolutely scorching lap, I knew. I also had a feeling, and 119.6 from Lazzaro. Okay. Okay, four-cylinder driver, you have just smashed Sagatari's previous best. 3/10 clear of the Renault, and Jan Rostica really need to step up his game now. Into the final corner now. This looks a pretty sweet lap so far from Jan, much better than his previous best of the 123. Where does this lap put him? It puts him P2 with a 119.9. Just ahead of Sagatari, but still 2/10 off Lazzaro. Got towards the line now. Safso comes across it and improves slightly, but not enough to challenge the top 6. As Lazzaro has a tie from the session, and Mantis gets squirmy all over the exit of turn 7, and he's called it a day. That's his qualifying session over. He will start no higher than 4th place. But it looks like it's going to be Lazzaro, Jan Vosica, and Sagatari. But yeah, Sagatari's still going for it. You know what? We're going to go on board with him, but he goes a bit wide into turn 4. Will that compromise his lap time? And we'll have to wait and see. And there's so many cars off the track. That's surely screwed up his lap time. What was happening there? There was a bunch of AI cars. That was the thing. That was Bascadino, his teammate, screwed him up there because the AI didn't retire, and that is so unfortunate for Sagatari, who looked very quick in the qualifying session, but it will have to be P3 for him. I have been told that it's raining in the race. That is going to spice up things for the start of this season. But before we get into the race, let's have a look at the classification for qualifying, as it's Lazzaro who takes pole position with a 119.6. Jan Vosnica in 2nd place, like he was a week ago. Sagatari the exact same. Mantis in P4 in the Ferrari. Satoshi in the Alfa Romeo Sauber in P5. Light Cruiser in P6. Safso in 7th alongside Smiltino in 8th. But here, Safso has a 5-place grid penalty, I forgot. Eli in P9 alongside Panda Cruiser, who completes your top 10 for the start of this race. Oh boy, look at it. It's absolutely pouring it down here in Melbourne. I can't remember the last time we had a wet race here in the Australian Grand Prix. But what I do know is that this is going to make strategy, tactics, everything is going to be spiced up now because it's full wet conditions. And to be honest, being frankly honest, I do not think a lot of the drivers have been practicing wet lap times, and I don't think they've been expecting a wet race. But here they are there in the real deal, and there's a big challenge ahead in these next 29 laps for all 15 drivers competing in this race, as Adam is the last one to line up on the grid for the start of this WWRL season. Let's hope for some better luck in this race than we did last Wednesday. But here we go then, as we head now to the 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. Decent start from the top 2. Looks like Lazzaro gets the better start out of both of them. All of them sliding about, trying to find the grip on these new tyres. Turn 1, in we go, and Lazzaro takes the lead from Jan. Mantis up into P3 ahead of Sagatari. It looks like there's people dropping down the field. It looks like Satoshi is not back in his car. As Jan Vosca tries to go down the inside into turn 3, but Alfie shuts the door and says no thank you. he leads the Australian Grand Prix. He gets a very drifty into turn 4 there. The driver's really struggling in these new conditions that they haven't been experiencing so far. Jan is very close to the back end of the Force India. But into Sector 2 now for the first time in these wet conditions. That looks like Light Cruiser there. He's got two very eager drivers trying to get past him with Smoltino and Sasso. Sasso with a 5-point script penalty. It's taking no prisoners here and tries to go down the inside of Smoltino, but backs out wisely. But this is looking like a very good Grand Prix so far. Bascadino and Cruzy are swapping positions as Adam is up into P10. Het is Davey. Eli have dropped back a bit. Panda Cruisers dropped back a bit. Zadareb down to 14th. And Satoshi is unfortunately not able to take control of his car. So that means there's 14 drivers that will be racing here, which is a bit of a shame. Two less than what we did last time, but Light Cruiser and Sasso are going side by side. Light Cruiser goes on the grass on turn 13. Sasso says thank you very much, and he moves up into P5. Absolutely incredible start from the Toro Rosso driver, who's made up a load of places on the start. As we now end lap 1 with the 5/10 lead for Lazzaro. And Sasso sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He is absolutely going for this. As it did say, his race pace is much better than his qualifying pace. It says Lazzaro being overtaken for the lead. I think he might have had a tank slapper on the exit of turn 2, and that will unsettle the car so much that he lost a load of momentum. And Jan Vosika now takes the lead of the Grand Prix, goes very wide and hits the wall a little bit on the exit of turn 4. I don't know if he got front wing damage from that collision. He seems to be okay, but he takes the lead now on lap 3. This has definitely made the race much more interesting, because one small mistake, one small over adjustment on the throttle, and you can and they're going to end up like Lazzaro did, nearly into the wall. The other Toro Rosso driver though, Sasso, is right on the gearbox of the Renault driver, who's subsequently nearly on the gearbox of the Ferrari, a 3-car train, for the final podium place, as Jan is setting the timesheets alight here. After taking the lead, Mantis goes a bit wide into turn 1. That is not what we need to do, Mantis. Asagatori nearly did the exact same as Lazzaro, and here comes Sasso now into turn 2. They make contact and they spun round. Sasso, no! It was all going so well, and they make contact. I think that was an issue with the ghosting system, because right before the incident, Sasso was ghosting, and they made contact into turn 2, and he's lost a lot of momentum. Here comes Light Cruiser now, his teammates, all over the back of the German Renault driver. The Dutch Renault driver now is looking to get past his teammate, but Sasso is down in 9th place, and that, I think, might be going to the stewards for their decision. On to another set of wet tyres. It's intermediate tyres. Now that is gambles I like to see taken from a Toro Rosso driver. He comes out in P13 definitely, as unfortunately P14 and P15 have not had a very good race so far. But this is a pretty interesting gamble from Sasso. Being honest, it doesn't look like the conditions have improved, but maybe it has, and we'll have to wait and see how his times compare to those on the wet tyres. As Mantis is down in P6, I've missed some things here. He's side by side with the Mercedes of Jasper, and he's lost 3 positions. It's now Sakatari in P3. Leclerc's right behind him, but here comes Mantis now. Down the inside of turn 13, the Mercedes and Ferrari battling, and this could bring the second Mercedes, Bascadino, into this battle. Mantis is just behind Smoltino going into turn 14. But I wonder what happened to the Ferrari driver. This camera view is absolutely amazing to see this battle commence. As I think Light Cruiser's got the best exit out of all of them, but Sagatari with the slipstream up towards turn 1. This is going to be a great battle into turn 1. Lazzaro closes the door and Sagatari can't get past, but Lazzaro has gone off the track. Light Cruiser's gone off the track. A bit messy in all parts. Light Cruiser's lost a bit of time, and Lazzaro is struggling. And Jan has gone off the track. Not going to help him that much as there's contact between Smiltino and Mantis. And Mantis has left the session. Mantis had enough. That did look quite suspicious, that incident between him and Jasper. And unfortunately for Mantis, it's a race-ending incident. Oh, here comes Light Cruiser now, side by side with Lazzaro into turn 9. There's a bit of contact. Lazzaro runs a bit wide there. They're side by side, going up towards this straight of turn 11 and turn 12. It looks like Lazzaro just about keeps it there in third place ahead of the Renault. But here comes Light Cruiser back for round 2 into turn 13. A great overhead shot. As we see the two drivers making a bit of contact, Lazzaro shuts the door into turn 14. And Light Cruiser has to stay behind just a bit. What a move! Down the inside goes Light Cruiser. This is great side-by-side racing. Just a little bit of contact, but that's okay. And onto the main start-finish straight. Light Cruiser could be back for round 3 here. Going into turn 1, is he going to take the inside line? Yes, he does. Side by side, but he backs out of it wide. So maybe that's to get a better run from turn 1 and turn 2. He's right on the tail of Force India. Could the Renault be making a move? Look at Bascadino, he's gaining a lot on this fight, and so is Sagatori, who's now pulling away from this Renault sandwich with the Force India filling. Turn 4 commences, and it's still Lazzaro ahead of Light Cruiser. Again, Light Cruiser backs out, and Lazzaro gets a shocking exit of turn 1 once again. And here goes Light Cruiser to hit the inside. Here goes Bascadino, he's going to watch out for his fellow Dutch compatriot here. It's a little bit of iffy-biffy barging. Turn 4 commences once again, and it's still Force India, Renault, Mercedes. This is a great battle here. But it's all because Lazzaro just isn't getting the right tyre temperatures. Light Cruiser is now down his inside. Into turn 7, there's a bit of contact. And that is the other McLaren there, instead of getting out of the way. Light Cruiser is now into P4. Bascadino could be having his say. And Lazzaro's lost it. And he's come back onto the gravel. And I think he might call that quits here. Yes, he has. Lazzaro's called it quits, and his race is over. He was squirming all over the place, trying to find some grip, and he couldn't do that. And his race is over, which is pretty surprising, because I'm not going to lie, that did seem a bit of a rage quit. Into the pits now comes Light Cruiser. His teammate, Sagatori's just pitted the lap before. And Bascadino is already into the pits with him now. Both fitting the intermediate tyres as Bascadino is stuck with the pit lane for a little bit there. A little bit longer than he probably would have wanted. But Sagatori is now coming onto the main straight now. His teammate is coming up the pits right as we speak. And it looks like Light Cruiser has jumped his teammate. What about Bascadino? I think he's just going to settle for P4 at the moment. A battle that I did not expect to be seeing in front of my eyes right now is Smiltino against Safso. Smiltino on the fresher tyres, yet Safso is still gaining on him. Shows he's absolutely flying on these tyres, considering they're about 12 laps old. He's doing a stellar job right now for his comeback. And right now he's all over the back of the second Mercedes, who indeed got caught up with an incident, and I can confirm that I think Mantis lost it on the turn 7 exit curb, and Jasper had nowhere to go, so it's very unfortunate for Jasper to be stuck in this position, 9 seconds behind Bascadino. Back to the Renault tussle. Sagatori still is in P3. I wonder how Renault are going to play this. I wonder how Cyril Beatball's going to feel about his two drivers here. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think it's with Z Arab. Yes, it is. Oh, it was going so well for the McLaren. And he's lost it on the exit of turn 11, turn 12, and he's retired from the session. I think the last bit of action we're going to see in this race is going to come from these two boys. Smiltino picks up another 3-second time penalty, which isn't going to affect him at all, seeing as how he's 12.6 seconds ahead of Panda Cruiser in P7. There's a little Tank slapper on the exit of turn 1 there for Sagatari, right behind his teammate. In a Renault 2-3 formation. It's been like this for a solid number of laps now, and I wonder if Sagatari is just settling now for a P3 finish. Which will still be a good result, but you know, as a driver, you always want to beat your teammate. And he hasn't been able to do this so far. As the two Renaults now start their final lap, look how dry the track's gone. It's nowhere near slick tyre range, but still, it was absolutely pouring it down at the very start, and now it looks practically 90% dry. And I know one person who's really enjoyed this race. It is Jan Wozniak in the Williams. He is absolutely having the time of his life in first place. No one to challenge him. No challenges, no obstacles. Just him driving flat out for 29 laps. And he's going to come home now. Take his first ever victory in his first ever race here in Worldwide Racers League. Coming into the final couple of corners now. He's controlled this race from start to finish. Got past Lazzaro after he made a mistake on the first couple of laps. Coming onto the first start finish line now. It's going to be the win for Jan Wozniak, crossing the line to win the Australian Grand Prix. A dominant display from the Polish driver. It's going to be a 2-3 finish for Renault. Light Cruiser comes home to take second place ahead of his teammate Sagatari. I wonder how he's going to be feeling after that race. Bascadino is going to take a very strong P4 for Mercedes and a very strong weekend for the two Mercedes drivers. Crazy Os, Eli and Adam have already crossed the line a lap down, finishing in 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. Sasso is going to come up to the line now, take a very, very, very good P5 for him after getting tangled up in some incidents in the start. A P5 finish at the end is definitely something to be proud of in the Toro Rosso. Bascadino, no, it's not Bascadino, Smiltino comes home in P6. And it's going to be Panda Cruiser coming around the final corners to complete as he goes very, very wide in turn 15. Crossing the line now for P7, good result on the Lone Red Bull, who will complete your finishing classification for the first race of this exciting season ahead. Jan Wozniak from P2 on the grid takes the victory, 13 seconds ahead of Light Cruiser, who's 3 seconds ahead of his teammate Sagatari. Bascadino comes home in P4 after starting P11, good result for him. Sasso in P5 starting P7, good comeback from him. Smiltino, pretty solid effort from him after that incident with Mantis. Panda Cruz, a good result for him. Eli in P8, bit of a lonely race for the French Haas driver, but he gets some 4 points on the board. Crazy Austin P9 and Adam with a double points finish for Toro Rosso in P10, with Hettis Davey the only driver to finish outside the points. Zedadeb, Lazzaro and Mantis all did not finish, but that has been the Australian Grand Prix. Let's go on to the podium interviews. Right, Jan, that was an exceptional performance from start to finish. You absolutely demolished everyone in your competition. You looked in your own world after everyone else seemed to go away after your incredible pace. How was that race for you?
Yeah, thank you first of all. The race is great. I've been always strong in rain. It's my favorite thing when it rains. And yeah, I had a good pace. Everything worked alright, so everything.
Did you know that it was raining before qualifying? Did you maybe adjust the setup a little bit to help the rain?
No, I actually didn't. I was surprised that it rained for the race, but when I saw rain, I was happy.
Alright, very good result for you. Let's move over to Lars, who came P3. How was that? How was that race for you?
It was fun. It was fun in the rain. I was enjoying it. Really hard to get up to the pace. And it feels like I could have gotten quicker in the end. but it's really hard to stay behind someone
Yeah, I did see
because
that.
yeah, the dirty air is really strong in the rain, and as soon as you close up, your rear just goes all over the place, and you're dropping back again. So that was a bit of an issue. I couldn't get past my teammate. But yeah, anyway, I had one incident with Seth.
Yeah, I did see that. That was very weird. Just to put it bluntly.
Yeah, we didn't touch on my screen, so
I'll have to look back at the footage, but that did seem like a very strange incident.
yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it as well. So
Right, Ruben.
anyway,
Sorry.
Si, senor.
anyway, congrats to Jan.
Yeah,
You were
great,
really
yeah.
strong. Room, you defended really well.
You couldn't get close because of the dirty air.
Yeah, but you weren't making mistakes and stuff. I was in the end, I was just hoping for a mistake and dropping back. So
Yeah, I was like not
you were too
pushing.
consistent. Yeah.
Speaking of making no mistakes, Ruben, you did a very good drive. From
you.
P6 on the grid, did you start?
Yep.
And came home in P2. You made some good moves. Your battle with Latsera was really enjoyable to watch, even if it was a bit argy-bargy. So, explain how that went.
Well, the battle with Alfie Letzero was, of course, interesting.
Yeah.
It was a very nice. He defended very well into every corner. Just couldn't get past anyway. I was kind of frustrated to be like behind him like 10 laps. I could be so much faster. I could have catched Jan, but I don't know. It was a fun race, very fun.
Yeah, about Jan's pace, that was incredible. I don't honestly. I did see you sort of setting some nice fast laps, but then Jan at the end he was going full at it and ended up with the fast lap of the race. But that has been the first round of the WWRL season here. Take 2 is complete of the Australian Grand Prix. No issues, as I know of. That took place today. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you for Bahrain in a week's time.